you two saw The Little Mermaid this week, which is the Disney's latest live action remake. Seeing some great reviews, seeing some average reviews, seeing some bad reviews. So it's kind of been all over the place. You guys I'll just kick it over to you for your review, because unfortunately I did not get around to watching it. So maybe Tuesday night, if I'm not busy, I'll get around to it.
Cam, you want to start?
Yeah, sure. I really enjoyed this. I'm a big Little Mermaid guy, just like from the original. Apparently that's a hot take from what I'm like. It's got a pretty high Letterboxd score. It's like a 3.7 out of 5, which is pretty good. But like every one of my friends, and I'm only friends with like 16 people on Letterboxd, they all have it at like a 3. I'm at like a 4.5. It's not, I don't think anyone thinks it's like a bad movie, but I'm a big regular Little Mermaid guy. So I expected to like this some. Probably not as much as I did. I kind of expected it to be around a 3 out of 5 and gave it a high 3.5 out of 5. I think the moral of the story is I wasn't upset that I went and saw this, and I wasn't upset that they remade it, which, you know, like Pinocchio and Lady and the Tramp and a lot of other live action remakes. I kind of am upset that when they remake them, because they're just really bad.
Is that where our standards are at?
Yeah, I mean, like I think so, but like I enjoyed my time with it, you know, like it was a fun movie in my opinion, and I know everyone hates like turn your brain off and have fun. This one I don't think you need to turn your brain off. I just had fun with it. Halle Bailey, so goddamn good, can sing her heart out. She like truly sang like a goddess, was absolutely amazing. I enjoyed Daveed Diggs and Melissa McCarthy, and the rest of the cast was in the movie. They were in attendance and they showed up. Have other points, but we can kick it to Tyler. That's my general idea or thoughts on the movie, but 73 out of 100 right now, a high 3.5 out of 5.
Yeah, so Riley and I went to see it last night. We both kind of the same takeaways. We both didn't love it. We both gave it 2.5 stars. I gave it a low 2.5 stars. I gave it a 4.7 out of 10. We were just really bored, man. Like, I just feel like rewatching the original one before this really is a disservice, because this is like the same story frame for frame, stretched out 45 minutes extra.
It is too long.
We were just super bored in the theater. Like, we were both checking our watch. We're like, man, we gotta get out of here. Like, Halle Bailey's voice, like Cam said, like her songs were incredible. We didn't like anything else. The Lin-Manuel Miranda is just such a so not good, because not only the scuttlebutt, but like Eric's song was so theater kid cringy. So much of the new songs in this were so awful. Lin-Manuel Miranda is such a disgrace this movie.
I think that's a bad take though, to say he's not good. Because
no, I'm not. I'm saying for this movie, I love Lin-Manuel.
Okay, no.
Are you saying Eric is not good? I don't think Eric was good.
No, I don't think Eric was very good. No,
okay.
I just mean
Lin-Manuel Miranda's great, but for this movie, his additions were not good. The worst cast member by far, Javier Bardem, was awful. Oh, yeah. So, okay, Cam, the scene at the end when he shows up behind the boat and they just have the camera sitting on him for 10 seconds.
I probably didn't take enough points.
Riley and I literally looked at each other. We're like, why are they just showing, like, why aren't they talking? Like, it was just 10 seconds of him just sitting there, like, not talking. And we're like, what is going on here? He was awful, Javier Bardem. I enjoyed Daveed Diggs, though. What's up?
Sorry, George, do you care if we spoiled?
No, not at all.
I mean, it's the same story, so anyone listening, it's the same.
Not at all.
I know.
Yeah, but Daveed Diggs I enjoyed, except, you know, that, like Cam, what you said in your Letterboxd review, that scuttlebutt was just a disgrace against humanity. And Awkwafina is just awful as always. And my favorite cast member, though, by far, like by a huge margin, Jessica Alexander, who played Ursula when she becomes a real person. She had like 2 scenes, but she was like, I was like, okay, someone's bringing like acting chops. She was incredible. Halle Bailey, like I thought her voice and like her singing was incredible. Her acting was very good. I think some people are saying she's like the greatest actress ever. I thought she was very good. I wouldn't say she was great acting, but her singing was great.
I have a take on that.
Let's hear it.
I have a take. You want to hear my take?
Yes.
I haven't seen a lot of movies this year, I'll admit.
Yes.
This is my Oscar frontrunner for Best Actress. Like, this is the best
She's
performance.
She's not that good of an actress, dude.
What other performance have we gotten this year from anyone?
Are you talking about Halle Bailey?
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is my best actress. Maybe not front runner if you can name more, but like I'd say top 5. This year's kind of been shit. Let's be honest.
Yeah, no, this year's been a bad
kind
year
of
this year.
But we'll get into it after the review. How about that? But we could just talk maybe some actresses because I don't know what other performances this year.
I'm looking at my ranking right now, and there's
not a lot of great actresses this year.
That's what I'm saying. It's not
Jennifer Lopez, Shotgun Wedding, my front runner.
Evil Dead Rise is like the only movie like a genuine female lead.
You're right. There's some Sundance stuff that'll be coming out later that I think could be. Yeah, that's not a bad take.
Probably.
But yeah, back to The Little Mermaid. I don't know, man. Like, we were just super bored with this, and like, I truly do think the visuals were not good. Like, I know we were all talking about that before release, and then everyone, when it came out, were like, oh, it's not as bad as the previews would make you think, which I agree. Like, I think the previews were worse than like what they were, but it's still not great. Like, I think, well, Avatar obviously for sure would look better, but I think like Aquaman, or like I think even like Black Panther Wakanda Forever, like the underwater scenes probably look better than this. Like, I don't know. Like, I think Under the Sea they did very well, but like they made some cool visuals and creatures under the water, but like the water itself was awful. And I know everyone's like, oh, it's a mermaid movie, you can't expect realism. But when like the bird came under the sea and like was just talking with them under there, that truly did take me out of it. And I know people are like, oh, it's a mermaid movie, you can't care if like a bird's underwater. And I'm like, I don't know. For me, I like genuinely, I was just like, this is dumb. Why is the bird under there talking for 3 minutes? Like, there's just.
I don't like that take. I'm sorry.
Why?
I appreciate you sharing it. Well, my opinion on the bird talking is like exactly. I liked one of like Sophie's tweets or Sydney's tweets earlier this week is like, it's a bird that goes underwater, not necessarily talking underwater, but it's a fucking talking bird. And at that point, I'm kind of like, it can be underwater and talk because this bird in real life does go underwater for large amounts of time to pick up fish. Like I
think that's a dumb take too, though.
I don't know.
Because like, the thing is like, so the reason they did it is because their visual effects aren't good enough to have her go above the water and talk and go back under in like a quick scene. Because they didn't have Flounder go out of the water. It's like, oh, he's a fish. Why can't he go out of the water and talk?
He went out of the water. He went out of the
for
water
like a second, not for 3.5 minutes.
I'm just saying. All right, so
it just added fire to the flames that like Awkwafina is like the worst actress working in Hollywood today.
I don't like that.
George, do you like Awkwafina?
I mean, I don't hate her at all. No, I think I really like her in The Farewell. I think she's a great voice actress.
Haven't seen that, but I did not like her in Crazy Rich Asians.
I loved her in Crazy Rich Asians, and I've thought about it. I don't think I'm as down on her as you all, but I really liked her in Shang-Chi, and I loved her in Raya and the Last Dragon. Raya and the Last Dragon, I really loved her. This, I think she stinks, but like, I also blame Lin-Manuel Miranda for that a little bit because the scuttlebutt
so bad.
It's a big reason I think.
But still, Javier Bardem's the worst in this movie.
That's fine. But I don't know. I kind of like. I didn't have a problem with her. I should say. Like I've definitely had the take where I think sometimes she's super annoying, but in this I didn't have a. So she's a gannet. The bird is a gannet, and that bird can go underwater, and that was what I don't know. I didn't think it was that bad of an issue, like big of an issue when she was underwater and talking for a 2-minute scene, in my opinion. It's a talking bird.
How old is Jonah Howard King? Because he looked like he'd either be 20 or 38.
He's one of the
27. Like, they looked creepy on screen together, man. He looked way older than her.
He did. But
Very
same with in the original Little Mermaid, because I rewatched it this week and I was like, this is kind of weird. She
right, no, because she's 16 in the original. But like that's the whole point. They changed all the lyrics to make this remake more PC. So like, why wouldn't they change that if they're changing everything else?
What lyrics did they change?
Kiss the girl. They changed it. Be like, you got to ask for her consent and kiss the girl. If you look at they changed the lyrics a lot. For
I did not notice that, but they do look very odd. Like the age gap is odd.
And he's just very much a theater kid, so I just really didn't. I don't know. It was just he just had a very.
I didn't think he was very good.
His solo song on the ship, I thought was awful.
Was bad.
Like the voice was good, like fine, but like the performance, I was just like, oh.
Well, so I said in my review, this has a real issue with like lip sync syndrome, where they're just all very clearly lip syncing, and then when like they go to the studio, they're like belting and they're like singing, which is. And it's also amplified and it sounds a lot louder than what their lips look like. And maybe I'm more down on this movie. I had a good time with it though. So
How has Hollywood like not figured that out though? Like I obviously like way harder than I'm sure any of us can give credit for, but like I feel like singing in movies has been a thing for like legitimately like 80 years, and I feel like lip singing still looks so weird in movies and like music videos. I don't know how they just haven't figured that out by now. Maybe it's just all these. I mean, every cast member except like Javier Bardem in this movie, I guess, are pretty inexperienced actors, so maybe it's that, but. Because none of them have really been in much before this, right? Like, I didn't recognize really.
Well, anyone.
Melissa McCarthy's it.
Jacob Tremblay is in a lot of things, but he's still a kid.
Well, and you don't see his voice.
Yeah, you don't see him. Halle Bailey and Jonah Hauer-King, obviously they're new. A lot of the others are voice acting. So, like, all right. Yeah, I guess you're right. They are inexperienced. You're right about that.
Yeah, and the only other like gripe I have is like. I really didn't like the end when all the mer people came up. It was just I thought that was a really cringy scene when they all came up. Because they all looked pretty weird to me.
They did.
Like I feel like the costume design for like the main focused people, they were like, we're putting a lot of effort in. Then for that final scene, they're like, quick, like throw them in like some costumes and make them go up.
But that first guy mermaid that popped up, that dude was good.
Ripped abs. But he was also weird because I feel like he like looked like he was on that rock just like flexing his mind out for that whole scene. Yes, which to be fair, if I was him, that's what I'd do too. If they're like, you're a background extra in the Little Mermaid and you're ripped, I'd just be sitting there. I'm like, I don't give a fuck what I look like.
That's the kind of thing like, in like a college football game, like AJ McCarron's girlfriend, Tyler, like when they get on screen for 1 second and then they become really popular on Twitter or something. That was his moment. He was like, I'm gonna get this. Like,
he's like, I want to be the thirst trap of all the girls watching this
my
movie.
Calling for the week. So yeah, he was good, ripped, that dude. Yeah. But you're not wrong. So it's like, again, watching the original versus this, it looks, that end scene was just drawn out so much more than the original. Like the original, they all pop up and like you get it. Everyone's together. You get it. The mer people and the people are friends now. But in this, it's like, hey, the mer people and the people are friends, and we should explain that right now when you just don't need them. That ending I didn't love. I will mention, and I think you said it, like I think Under the Sea was done really well.
Yeah, they nailed it.
I'm a huge Under the Sea guy, as you all know from my favorite Disney songs, but I think that was like one of my biggest concerns, especially because like I'm a big I just can't wait to be king guy, and I've said it time and time again. In the Lion King remake, you can do it, but they don't do like elephants or giraffes climbing on top of elephants with Simba coming out at the top like it's a flower looking thing like they do in the animated movie. They try to make it a lot more realistic. In this one, they kind of just say it's still realism, and you can do a lot more bright colors underwater because like fish have different colors and stuff, but they really do nail Under the Sea, and I think that's a big reason I enjoyed this so much. And I think I still liked Kiss the Girl. I like a part of Your World. I like this more than the original. The music I still thought was good, and that's a big pull for me.
Yeah, I agree. The music was all good. Again, and obviously we've mentioned like 10 times, Scuttlebutt needs to be eviscerated from this movie.
My thoughts are like my thoughts were like, I think at this point you're either a fan of Lin-Manuel Miranda or you're not. So like I am a big fan of him. I love Moana. I love Encanto. I love obviously Hamilton and Tick Tick Boom. I think no matter what, if you're a fan of him or not, the Scuttlebutt sucks. And you're
okay. I was wondering where you're going with that because I'm a huge Lin-Manuel Miranda guy. Like, I love Tick Tick Boom and stuff.
No matter what, this is where we're coming together and saying this shit sucks, man. Like it is so bad. And I didn't see it online. I don't know if you did, Tyler or George, but I was waiting for this moment because I heard about it and like heard that it was so poorly done. And it really was. And I don't think it adds anything to have like Awkwafina seeing it when people already dislike her. I don't think she made it any worse, but it didn't help itself.
It more just made me upset for Daveed Diggs because I genuinely loved his performance. I'm like, oh man, I have to tarnish it a bit.
Dude, this made me want to go home. I watched a little bit of Hamilton on Disney Plus last night. I'll probably finish it. I fucking love Hamilton, but this made me just want more Daveed Diggs. And so I agree. I enjoyed him. I couldn't take my notes. I should mention there was a guy and a girl sitting not right next to me. I got that seat gap. They were clearly in high school. They were making out for like 20 minutes during this movie, which like definitely it's a high school move. You know, you go to a movie, you get a little lights get low, you start kissing a little bit. Yeah, so that was kind of a unfortunate theater.
That sounds so uncomfortable.
Oh god.
This theater was packed, man. I think
Jesus.
Tyler and I talked about it. Like the Little Mermaid was taking over this weekend, a 9:15 showing, and it was absolutely packed.
Dude, I can't wait to see the box office results this weekend. Because Riley and I went to dinner.
120.
Right, because like we went to dinner like Friday night, and we were like, oh, let's go to the Little Mermaid after, and it was like sold out showings the next one, and then like we looked at the next like 4 showings are all sold out. And we're like, shit, let's just go like tomorrow night. And we went to like a 9:15 showing also, and it wasn't like sold out, but it was like pretty packed. And I'm gonna give props to all the kids in my theater. They all were very well behaved. Like when I went to Puss in Boots: The Last Wish, the kids were thumbs down and ruined some of the greatest moments. This movie, thumbs up. Kids all well behaved. They were locked in.
My theater cheered at the end. Did yours?
No,
like, there was a lot of kids.
No, my showing was like 25% full though, because I went like super late. So maybe if it was more packed, but no cheering in mine.
Mine cheered. They changed this is my favorite change that they made is that they don't make stupid Eric kill Ursula at the end. Sorry for spoilers. It's Little Mermaid. They have Halle Bailey's Ariel. She same way, but she kills Ursula. Good. Eric sucks, man. Fuck that guy. This dude sucks. He's not even that good looking. I'll say it. I think the dude with the abs at the end was better looking than Eric. Should have gone with him. That's true love. But I got nothing more.
I feel like I've been dogging on this movie a ton, so I'll say some positive things. Melissa McCarthy's Ursula. There's nothing nothing more I feel like she could have gave. I feel like she was incredible. I feel like not only her performance was great, I think all the scenes with Ursula, like they laid him out well, they sketched him out well, like all the designs, everything that happens, so cool.
Poor Unfortunate Souls was good also.
Poor Unfortunate Souls was, and that final scene when like Jessica Alexander turns into Melissa McCarthy, like so Vanessa turns into Ursula, that was just like super well done and super cool. So big thumbs up to that. Halle Bailey, like I said, like obviously all the music was incredible. Jacob Tremblay I thought was good as Flounder. I feel like he was pretty forgettable though. Daveed Diggs, as I mentioned, awesome as Sebastian, and that's about it. Like I think I saw someone else say this before I got into the showing. Like someone like an early reaction was like, it takes like the first 20 minutes are like awful, and then you can kind of get into it and it's pretty good. And I agree, the beginning was rough because the whole Under the Sea with not the song, but like when they were under the sea with like all her sisters and stuff, like they all just showed up to set one day. I feel like all the other mer people I thought were just so just off-puttingly like just like mid that I was just like, this is just really forced and weird.
I think this attributes to the just capturing the magic of the original, but I liked like King Triton's entrance where it's just like a whirlwind of fish and then he like appears kind of thing. And again, that just kind of makes me feel like obviously they went the realistic route, making Flounder an actual flounder and looking like a weird fish, which I wasn't a fan of at the start. Same with Daveed Diggs is Sebastian. I wasn't a huge fan of making him look so realistic, but I think it worked for the movie and it completely makes sense. But I do like that they also tried to. I think whether it executes well or not, I think this movie tried the most to capture that magic of the original of all of these live action, other than maybe like the Jungle Book. Even that is kind of dreary looking, even though it's a really good movie.
I love it.
It's kind of dreary looking. Don't you agree?
Yeah, that's fair.
I do love it. It's my favorite live action.
Okay. No, I reacted before you said looking. I thought you were just saying the movie is dreary. I'm like,
no, I like it a lot. I'm just saying, like, I do think they kind of lose. I keep coming back to the word, the magic, but I don't know. I think we all knew I'd be much higher on this, just considering I'm the only one that likes the original Little Mermaid.
Right. So I think like at the end of the day, our reviews are pretty similar in terms of like, because I was a 3-star for the original, 2.5 for the remake. You're a 4.5 star for the original, 3.5 star for the remake. So like, we're both kind of in agreements. It's like whatever you kind of rate the original at, it's probably just gonna be it's definitely gonna be a tier below. I'd find it hard to believe anyone who like loves the original would like this even more. But it's not like outrageous decline by any situation. But one thing I did mention earlier that I just want to clarify. So for people listening, the changes to Kiss the Girl. So the original was possible she wants you to, it don't take a word, not a single word, go on and kiss the girl. So that's the original. This one is possible she wants you to use your words, boy, and ask her if the time is right and the time is tonight, go on and kiss the girl. So it adds a little consent, which is why I think it's weird.
Which is good.
No,
right?
it's good, but then like
change. You're right.
No, I don't even think it's a weird change. I think it's a good change. But like, why not just also change that he doesn't look 16 years older than her? Like, if you're going that far, like, I don't know, because at that point, like, even if you have consent, this dude's like looks like a 30-year-old with a 15-year-old. Because Halle Bailey, like now, like during the press, even now looks like she's like 5 years older than she like did in this movie. So
I also will applaud Halle Bailey for, I think, how old was she when she got cast? Because she got cast like 4 or 5 years ago at this point.
Something
It's
like
been
that,
a while.
yeah. And I don't know how old she is now. What is she, like 21?
Yeah, so whatever. So say she got cast at 17. 17, man, I would have lost my mind if I had this much discourse on the internet just about me. So like really good for her just being a good person and you know, making it through that. Because it was a lot of shitty discourse. And I think most people who see this movie say she's fantastic. But you know, there's still a lot of people online that are just not going to see it and are still going to bitch and moan about it.
Right. Yeah, I'm totally rooting for her. But whereas like the movie is not super high on, but I'm rooting for her.
She's got like 2 other movies this year. I think.
The Color Purple coming out in December, and then I don't know what the other one is. I told Riley this when we were walking. I was like, how like epic would it have been if like Vanessa would have been Chloe Bailey? Like that would have been such a like epic final battle, just like her twin sister or whatever. Or I don't know if are they twins or just sisters, but if that was like who the Ursula turned into at the end to steal Eric away from her, and then they had to battle each other. That would have been an iconic reveal. But
Chloe Bailey's 24. I don't think Halle Bailey's that old. Maybe she is.
They look pretty similar, so I wouldn't be surprised if they're
23.
23. Okay.
Yeah. So maybe she got cast at 19. Even then, I'd still be a dick to people online. But
yeah, I don't think that's all I should have. I thought overall like
she's mentally
4.7
stronger than all of us.
Yeah, I
For
think
sure.
I definitely had more thoughts like while I was in the theater, but
Couldn't write your notes down.
yeah, I couldn't take my notes. Bummer, Bill.
One thing like which is like it didn't take me out of the movie because like I think representation in kids movies is awesome because like the more you can get the better because like kids look up to these and like can see themselves in these movies. But I thought it was weird like all their sisters like I don't know, basically like did Javier Bardem just like get around as King Triton? Just like did he have like 10 different mothers? Because that's what you'd like think from like all her sisters.
Yeah, I didn't. Yeah, I see what you're saying. I didn't look into it too much, but probably. I mean, he's king of the sea. You know, he's getting around.
Yeah, because her mother died, but we don't know about the other mothers.
You flex that shit out of party.
Yeah,
nice with it.
But God, just such a weird performance from him, man.
Yeah, he was.
Now I'm intrigued by it. Now I want to watch it to see what you guys are talking about.
I'm totally watching Hamilton this week, though.
So like, yeah, George, like just for Javier Bardem, like. I don't think like most of it isn't even his fault. It's just like the way they frame him, just so weird in so many scenes. That there's that one scene specifically at the end that is, yeah, he does look really weird.
Looks weird. I don't think it's like he's terrible. He looks weird.
Yeah, but that's all we got on
all right.
the Little Mermaid.
We'll wrap up the Little Mermaid there.